Alright, quick little mic check. I'll keep it at this distance because I know I'm going to be loud and annoyed and angry, so it's going to be a fun time. I'm sure that anyone watching is going to get a holler out of this. I mean, what is better than a sad, miserable Leafs fan? Not much. Maybe I'll put it a little closer. That's fine. Alright, everything's working. I know that for a fact. Unlike the Toronto Maple Leafs. Anyways, I guess we'll just jump right into it. I am so sick of these Toronto Maple Leafs. I will love this team forever. I will. I love this. I will love the crest. I love Toronto, the city. I will love this team till I die. But these Leafs, can't stand them. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it with Brad Treliving. I can't do it with Craig Berube. I can't do it with these sorry players. And I can't do it with this ownership group. I can't do it. Tear the whole thing down. I don't even like Scotiabank Arena anymore. Tear it all down. Start scratch. Maybe we don't even need to be the Leafs anymore. Maybe we go become the St. Pats again. Maybe that'll do it. Anyways, we'll get into what's prepared for y'all. Welcome to the CollingsThodeNetwork. Please subscribe. You probably won't be doing it for more Leaf Talk. This might be it for the rest of the year. I mean, we got the trade deadline, so I'll keep you updated for that. I'll talk about some articles that I've read, some quotes that I've gotten from media members. And currently the Leafs are facing the New Jersey Devils. We went up 1-0. Like that lead's going to be safe. It is now officially 1-1 as we face Sheldon Keefe's New Jersey Devils. Oh, keep in mind, add that to the list of guys that I just hate. What a failure he was. I'm sad that I wasn't doing the social media stuff sooner, because anyone who's following me, anyone who's friends with me, knew I hated Sheldon Keefe. And guess what? It didn't work. He's not a leader of men. He's not a leader of a good team. I think the only team he's ever won a championship with was the Marlies in the AHL, because he was coaching a bunch of has-beens and young guys, not actual veterans, not actual NHL players. I don't get why we stuck with that for so long, and now it's Craig Berube, and it hasn't been working. And you know what this is a sign of? The team is wrong. It's the team. I love to blame a coach. I love to say that Berube sucks, and I don't think that. I honestly don't. Berube is one of the few guys just because he's tough, and he expects a lot, like we do as fans. It kills me. It kills me. I feel like I'm losing my mind watching this team and giving them an audience and continuously rooting for them. I don't know why I even cheer for them anymore. I will never, ever understand this Leafs team, the roster makeup, and even the quotes that I'm reading. Let's just jump right into this here. I'm not going to do a screen share or anything, but I'm just going to read it from Editor-in-Leaf. If you're a Leafs fan, you know what Editor-in-Leaf is. This is written by Nestor Quickston. He says that recent trades should make Leafs fans very excited about potential returns. The only thing I'm going to be excited about is a first-round pick or prospects. If we are acquiring any NHL-level player back in a trade, we're making a mistake. Now, I'll go through the article here. They're talking about the Michael McCarron trade, which, yeah, a second-round pick. I would like that. And bringing up Bobby McMahon. If McCarron only has 12 points, that's 4 goals. Bobby McMahon should be worth a first if McCarron was worth a second. Seeing as McMahon has 19 goals and 32 points, yeah, I feel like getting a first-round pick, judging the other value, I like that. Tyler Myers, they paid for, oh my God. The Dallas Stars acquired Tyler Myers. They gave up a second and a fourth. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, come on, you're better than Tyler Myers. We all know this. Hockey fans know this. Why don't we make that trade work? So you know what, Editor-in-Leaf? While I did think you were on something with that headline, you're actually kind of right with the article. As speaking of more stuff to get upset about, the article just underneath it, and I actually didn't write about it. Maple Leafs Tanev is officially going to miss the whole year as expected, and as soon as I got that notification, year over, season's done. Why try? That's a bigger issue. One defenseman was enough to make this team completely bottom out, completely lose the wheels, lose the rudder, whatever you want to call it. As speaking of more guys that aren't being played, trade talks are coming out because we're scratching everyone. As we're going to lose, so we might as well scratch everyone. That's Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Scott Laughton, and McMahon. First in a prospect for OEL? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd be all for it. I'd be completely for that. That would be nice. Scott Laughton, what a failure. We gave up a first. Not this year's, but next year's. What are we doing? He's been a fourth liner. And now we're going to ship him off for like a third if we're lucky? Losing it. This team makes me lose my mind. Lose it. I could go on. So we'll talk about what some of the media members have said. Of course, the Leafs have been on a 4-game losing streak since the Olympic break. Yes, 4 in a row since. And tonight we're going for 5. It really looks like we're going for 5 as I hit my mic by accident. Hayes from TSN, he wants as much roster turnover as possible, get picks, and different players in. He says that this year was not a write-off. This year was a sign of things to come. As I'm destroying my set right now. There we go. This year is not a write-off. It's a sign of things to come. It's consistent. It's gonna become a pattern, and I see that. I genuinely see that from him. Probably won't have a first rounder at all this year, is what he projected, because who will give us that? And I'm looking over at the chat there. You got Dave Collings with hopes and dreams. OEL first in a prospect, McMahon for a first, and Laughton for a second in a prospect. I'd be laughing. I would maybe choose to. Who are we kidding? It's Brad Treliving. He's not gonna. He sucks. He is notoriously one of the worst general managers for trades in the league. I'm not holding my breath, but those trades look great. I think they should hire you. Hayes also says that, along with not having a first rounder this year, McMahon will probably fetch a future first. Most guys will fetch either later first or not first round picks in this draft. He says commit to a 3 to 5 year rebuild, not a retool, a rebuild. Which immediately makes your brain go to one place in particular. Austin Matthews' contract. 2 more years. Next year's the last year of his deal. And that means he's not going to want to re-up here. Why would he? Genuinely, why would Austin Matthews re-sign with this Leafs team? No reason. None at all. So, we'll move on. I'm sure I'll talk about it later. Sid Sixero on his podcast, he calls out the Leafs for not caring. He says that the team cannot trust each other, and they cannot even trust themselves. And honestly, he's right. They suck when they all play, and they look unconfident. It's bad hockey. He says that both Florida losses in the playoffs have ended this group's run. They've basically just castrated the team. That's my words, not his. And then he says only bringing in Nick Waugh was a fail. And he's right. And to expand on his point, he said that we needed to bring in an impact maker, a difference maker. And we brought in Nick Waugh. Of all moments where Brad Treliving needed to take a second and think, yeah, I got to do something big here. Why wasn't it last offseason? I forgot. We're talking about the guy that gave Matt Tkachuk, that gave the Florida Panthers Matt Tkachuk for Weegar, who's a good defenseman, Huberdeau, who apparently was dog at hockey, apparently. He's a system merchant, and picks that have become nothing. So that's the guy we're trusting to make our trades. Yet again, another rant about that. So, no, I think those 2 Florida losses did completely kill this team. But if it wasn't Florida, it was going to be anyone else. It was going to be Boston. It was going to be Tampa. It literally would have been whoever the next team up was. I don't even think we had a shot against Carolina. The Hurricanes. Darren Drager, he says we need to do more to convince Matthews to stay. Why would he extend his contract? That's a good question. Because why would he? Why would he? Why would he not look at something like LA, who just brought in Panarin, who are making moves constantly, always upgrading their team? Minnesota. Why wouldn't he look at joining Marner in Vegas? Why wouldn't he not think about going to Florida to play with the Panthers or Tampa, where there's no state income tax? He'll make all that bank and coast. Why would he come back? And the answer, there is no reason. There is zero reason other than tradition and pride, which are not real. That's Fugazi. It's not real. No one actually cares about that. It's not like he's going to be richer in Toronto. Maybe we find the money for that somewhere. I think this team is still screwed for the cap, even without Marner. Nyes isn't living up to his contract. I mean, I love Matthew Nyes. I would not trade him, as we will get into it, but he is not living up to his contract right now. We paid that man handsomely. Like, handsomely. And he's got 49 points in 58 games. He might get upwards of 70 to 75. It's a fine number for a guy that's not making, what, $9 million? Is that what we gave him? I don't remember the actual number, but it was high. Oh, it was high. I can tell you that much. 7.75. Sorry, unless that's wrong. So I wouldn't put it past the Google AI overview to be wrong. Okay, 7.75. You know what? I stand corrected. I guess that's good value. I guess. I don't know. Would you, I guess that's a genuine question. For a guy that's going to be about a 68 to 75, we'll give him a big range. I think he's safely going to be over 68, 70 points. For a player that scores over 70 points in a season, the big body guy, how much would you pay him? 7.75? I guess. Maybe he is living up to it. I don't know. I heard on a radio show on TSN that he was not living up to it, which just because this team is soulless and lifeless doesn't mean that one player is not playing well. And that's on me for not knowing better, honestly. So I guess we'll move on to the next point. Yeah, you know what? You're right, Austin. That's a great point. 7.75 for that is probably going to become pretty average. It's going to be a good cap hit, and it's a 6-year deal, if I'm not mistaken. So there'll be 4 years where that's a good contract, like a really good contract. So you know what? You're right. I respect that take. I respect that. Oh, jeez. Well, JD Bunkus says the losses were wanted. They were basically tanking at this point. Losses were wanted for a team that is down and out, but they were a lot worse than he even wanted them to be. They're a lot more lifeless, a lot more soulless than anyone wants to see, and there's no surprises there. Team is playing like they don't care, and Bunkus specifically calls out Matthews and Nylander. Goaltending has taken a major backdrop from a slip, a slide, whatever you want to call it, from last year, which we can't blame them because this defense is so much worse. I swore when I wrote the page, I'm not going to do that on the channel, but the defense is dog. The defense is so bad, and Tanev is now done, and he was our best defender. He was, which is also horrible. The fact our best defender was, 37? I just got a painful brain blast because I thought about Morgan Riley. I hadn't thought about Morgan Riley this whole video. And now that might be the only thing I talk about. Much like my hatred for Sheldon Keefe, anyone who knows me is a friend of mine who's talked hockey with me since 2019 knows that I hate Morgan Riley. I've been done with his forward playing defense for some reason bottom. I've been done with it. He can't defend in front of the net. He can't shoot on a power play. He's weaker than I am, and I don't go to the gym. He can't play. He can't be a power play defenseman. He can't be a shutdown defenseman. He's not a two-way defenseman. He does nothing but skate. Why are Leaf games a cardio session for our highest paid defenseman? This is how Oiler fans probably felt with Darnell Nurse forever. As we'll pop into the chat real quick. Dave saying, heard Pierre LeBrun saying, don't be surprised if the Leafs make deals. I'll finish. Heard LeBrun saying, don't be surprised if the Leafs make deals to bring in NHL caliber players at the deadline to keep Matthews happy. It's so funny that the rumor mill is we can do anything to keep Matthews. I'm sorry, reality check Leaf fans, we lost him. We lost him a while ago. We lost him probably when we lost to Florida the first time. Maybe the second. But he was an embarrassment. The rest of the team was an embarrassment. All I can think about when I'm having cold sweats at night is games 5 and 7. Like a sleep paralysis demon. And we're going to bring in NHL caliber players. So Matthews will say, oh yeah, I'm thinking about re-signing. And then he won't. And then we can't trade him. And then we get Nick Waugh Part 2 out of it. I refuse to have another Marner situation. Ship him off now. Or get the pen on the paper. No in between. No will he, won't he. And you know what? This team did that with Nylander too. Another reason why I'm done with the ownership group. I'm done with this team. I'm done with these exact Leafs. 3 times we're going to do this. 3 times. If we're going into next year and Matthews isn't re-signed and he's not traded, I'm not a fan of the team for that season. Because fool me once, shame on me. Shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times, and I'm done. I can't take it. It's hockey purgatory. We'll wrap this up. Another one. JD Bunkus said, "Rebuild, not retool." Seems to be the common theme here. So, to end the video, I'm gonna go over every single Leaf in the starting lineup. I'm going to say if I would trade them or not. Bobby McMahon, gone. Austin Matthews, trade. William Nylander, keep. Matthew Nyes, keep. John Tavares, trade. Max Domi, trade. Mateus Michelli, trade. Nick Waugh, trade. Dakota Joshua, trade. Steven Lorentz, trade. Scott Lawton, trade. And Easton Cowan, I'm keeping. Even though we've completely mishandled Easton Cowan. Moving to the defense, Morgan Riley. I would have traded him years ago. And the funniest thing about that, there's apparently no trade market for him. Yay! Brandon Carlo, gone. Can we have our first back? Please, Boston. Please. Simon Benoit, trade him. He's 28. He's not some young guy. He's 27 or 28. This whole time I was like, oh, Benoit, he's impressive for a young guy. No, he's a grown man. Jake McCabe, I'm trading you too. You're one of my favorite defensemen, but you're 32. Let's get value. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, I'm trading you. And then to round off the defense, Philip Myers, Felipe, I don't care what your name is. You're on your next franchise. That is every defenseman every single defenseman. And for the forward group, the only ones I'm keeping are Matthew Nice and Easton Cowan. And I will argue my reasoning again, Austin. Trade Austin Matthews might be the craziest Leafs fan thing I've ever heard from you. It took till December to get Nylander, and that season was only good because we had a good roster. All of the BS with Marner last year, and now we're going to do it again with Matthews, but we're not going to have a good roster. So that means, what, Matthews is just going to play for no reason, and then we're not going to trade him, and then he's going to walk? The key thing is rebuild. And you don't rebuild a franchise while keeping your star. You just don't. Nylander's the only one just because of his contract. This is the only reason. And let me actually look up Willie Nylander contract, just so I know when it's over and when I can be sad. Oh, we still have 6 years. We still have 6 years of Nylander. We're good, y'all. So yeah, that's literally the only reason I'd keep Nylander. If Nylander was done, not after this year, but after next year, I would trade him too. I would rather, you're a Blackhawks fan, I would rather be in your position. I would rather switch rosters. I would rather switch fandoms, because at least with that, you know what you're signing up for. It's a bad team showing signs of promise. I would rather watch the pre-Matthews, Marner, Zach Hyman, Nylander year. I would rather. In the chat there, you going live Friday for the deadline? Darn right I am. You have to. I mean, we got to see the fireworks unfold. So, the last players I have to talk about are the goaltenders, Anthony Stolarz and Joseph Woll. I'm trading both of those. Joseph Woll was honestly the hardest one, just because I like the Wonderwall thing. It makes me laugh. It makes me smile. But based on this year, if we could get value for him, take it and run and laugh while you do it, because I'm done with this team. Season's over. Who cares anymore? Let's make our trades, and I'll see you live one on Friday, so, subscribe to the CollingsThodeNetwork. Till next time. Peace.